What's up, guys? This is Bird's Eye Tarot, and I've got another reading just for you. Today we have 4 groups, and these groups are going to talk about what is this person thinking and feeling about you. What is it that you don't know, or maybe something that you do, that this person is thinking about you. So if you can just think about any person whatsoever. It could be family, romance, friendship, whatever it is, and get the tea on what it is that they think, feel, and maybe even want from you. What is it that they're not communicating? Okay, because we all know that some people have a really hard time communicating their true emotions. It's not even just about each individual person. It's just, society doesn't always embrace us sharing our true feelings. It's not always taken the way that we would like it to be taken. So sometimes people don't say what they truly want to say. They don't express what they truly feel. So today you just need to think about a person, or you could think about multiple people and choose a different group for each person. Use your intuition to choose a group for the person you are thinking of. We have group 1 with this blue kyanite. We have group 2 with this selenite stick. We have group 3 with this labradorite. And group 4 with this shiny orange vandinite. So I'll give you a second to choose, and then we will get started. While you choose, I'm going to start playing my music in my headphones. All right, if you chose group 1, this will be your reading. Give me one moment. All right. So if you chose group 1 with the blue kyanite, then this is your reading. Okay, we're going to set up the cards like this. Alright, so the first thing that this person wishes that they could say to you or hasn't said to you is that they feel like things are a little bit, there's some lack of excitement lately. But they think that you are a super hard worker. They think that you are somebody who is, who knows how to plan, who knows how to do things. But maybe this person is, if you're in a romantic situation and you've been together a long time, this person might be expecting you to propose. But, they think it's been a while. They think it's been quite a while, and that a proposal may have should have taken place, or some kind of commitment. And also this person really thinks that you are just amazing. They really admire you with this Sun card here. So let's see, now that I can focus a little bit better. So yeah, this person thinks that you are kind of from a distant land. They almost feel like you are kind of an alien in a way. They think that there's nobody else quite like you. And in a good way. With the Sun card, I would say in a good way. They do have something they haven't been saying to you. There's been some heartbreak, or there's been some difficulty in their lives that they haven't communicated to you, and that they just don't want to dim your light with it, is the thing. There's something very heavy on their heart, but they don't want to dim your light by telling you something they're going through. They also might just be healing from something that they've went through in their past. Okay? Okay. So yeah, they are afraid that you, sometimes they feel like you might feel trapped in your relationship, maybe that they don't give you enough, and they just don't know how to, I don't want to say they don't know how to please you for some of you, but then others of you, they just don't know if they're doing enough for you to, they don't know if you feel like you're getting what you deserve, if that makes sense. Because I feel like maybe sometimes they can't quite read you, and they don't know if you are pleased by what it is that they're giving you. So I think one piece of advice here would to be to acknowledge the things that they're doing for you, and to make it a point to show them that you're grateful. It's not to say that you seem ungrateful, but they just are not sure if they're doing enough, because they feel like you're such a bright influence on their life, that they want to make sure that they're doing enough. They want to make sure that you're satisfied with the relationship, because they don't want to lose you. Okay, so this person really does not want to lose you. We have Tower with your T cards. You have Tower, solid foundation, success with effort. So they think that you're a very reliable person. They know that they can go to you when they have a problem. They might not do it for everything, but they know if there's a really serious problem that they can go to you and that you will help them out with it. And that's, I think, why they haven't wanted to burden you with this problem that they've been having. I think that maybe some of them have been having a problem at work with people that they work with. They don't want to tell you how much they hate their job because of the problems they're having with other people. For others, they might be having a problem, a legal problem, that this is probably a bigger deal. If this is the legal problem we're talking about, it's probably a bigger deal than the thing at work, because obviously it's a law situation. And so they just really don't want you to know about it. They might be hiding it from you. And I don't want you to think that they're hiding it from you they're not doing it with malice. They're not trying to hurt you. It might not even have anything to do with you, this problem, but they don't want you to judge them. They don't want you to know that for some of you, this person has a legal record. You know, they might have some mugshots. They might have been to jail. They might have, they might have divorced, and they might have to pay a lot of child support. But I think that somehow you are going to catch wind of this with this correspondence card. You're going to catch wind of this. So they just hope that when you do find out that you are with this Yen card, that you're going to be okay with it, that you're not going to leave them. But if it depends on what the situation is. Don't take this as me saying that you shouldn't or you should leave them either way, because I'm feeling it totally depends on who you are in this group. Okay, so but they do feel that you are so solid. They feel like they can come to you with anything if they really, really need it. Okay, but they would just rather not burden you sometimes. They think that you're very talented. They think that you are able to, you could make a lot of money if you applied yourself, or maybe you already do make a lot of money. They think if you're a man, they probably think that you're very handsome. And I'm feeling that for some of you, this could be somebody who you have a crush on, and in that case, if this resonates, then maybe they do also have a crush on you, especially with this dog card. However, that's not for all of you. For some of you, this person sees you as a really good friend, but they don't see you as more. But I think especially if this isn't same-sex relationship with this rainbow, that it is more of a romantic connection. But it totally doesn't really matter. It just depends on what the situation is for you. Let's see. I think when they first met you, they might have not told you that they kind of thought you were boring. However, you quickly proved them wrong with this sun card here. With the words you say, I think you have some fun expressions that you say, like very unique expressions that nobody else really says that, and they think it's really funny. They think that you definitely have a painful past, and that they are afraid to trigger you sometimes. Like it's not that they're afraid of you, but they just know that certain things can trigger you, and they really don't want to do that. They don't want to be responsible for triggering you. They don't want to be the person who brings you down, okay? But they feel like sometimes they are that person, and they really are afraid of that to be the person that brings you down. They think that you are a very, for some of you, a very feminine force that brings in, that just tends to attract what you want, like, kind of without much effort. It's like you can just sit there and be pretty and people will come to you, okay? And that's whether you are male, female, or something else. That's just the energy, okay? For just a few of you, though, I do feel like some of these people do feel stuck in the relationship. They feel like it's not going anywhere, but they're afraid that if they tell you that then you will leave them, and then the relationship will be over, when they don't want the relationship to be over, but they do want something to change. I think for a lot of you, this person does want something to change, whether it be a change in a direction of a more serious commitment, or a change in the direction of having stronger boundaries between each other, or a change where you just start doing new things together. You start really changing your activities, and actually working on the energy you produce toward each other. Maybe this person knows that you have a good heart, but sometimes you have a lot of arguments, okay? And this person sees the I would say, I'm hearing that you both see in each other sometimes cruelty. That's not to say you are cruel. That's not what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is that sometimes we all have a cruel side, and this person is a little bit afraid of that side of you. They see this beautiful, radiant side of you, and they love that side of you, and they want to embrace your shadow as well, but they definitely don't want to trigger it. They definitely don't want it to come out, because it is really intense. I think you're somebody who can go from 0 to 100, and they have recognized this about you, and they don't want to trigger that. Anyway, because you set the law. You know what's fair and you know what's right, and you do not allow people to walk all over you. You do not allow people to take advantage of you. I think you already have pretty strong boundaries. Maybe sometimes those boundaries come out a little bit aggressively, but the thing is that you know when you're being treated unfairly. At least or regardless, when you feel that you're being treated unfairly, you do not accept that. Okay? You come out strong when that happens. Okay. However, you've got this really patient side to you as well, and they really love that about you. This person loves how just practical and patient you can be. Like when you're trying to find something, you can really both. It's like you have this very nice mix of masculine and feminine energy. You go out and you get it, but then you just sit there and it comes to you. You don't really have to do much work, because you're so radiant that whatever you're doing, it just comes to you. That's another thing. They are afraid. If this is a romantic relationship and you're monogamous, they are afraid that somebody else is going to get you because you are so beautiful in their eyes, and they have some jealousy sometimes, and they're working on that. And if you feel like that, don't come out them, please, and say, oh, I know you're jealous, you need to stop that. That's not how that really works. Everybody gets jealous sometimes, and I think people use that word as an insult, but it's really human nature. So if you do feel like that sometimes they are jealous of other people with you, just talk to them very gently about it. Assure them that there's nothing to worry about, that of course they can't be acting jealous every time, but it's normal for them to feel that way sometimes, okay? But, if there's somebody who needs too much assurance on that, then that's another story. You can't always be assuring somebody about, and keeping them, their own security in the relationship needs to mostly come from them. Of course, it comes from your behaviors too, but it's not up to you. It's not your responsibility. Unless you give them a reason to be jealous, and a really true reason, as in, being unfaithful or talking behind their back or something like that, then, they shouldn't be jealous. But I do feel like you have other friends that, they do feel like maybe the friends don't like them, and they feel a little bit rejected by the friends, okay? And you are, you're just encouraged to do what you feel is right as far as that goes. Because maybe you haven't had a conversation about this, and it would be a good thing to have a conversation. It is not up to you, again, to convince them that nobody's talking bad about them, but it might be a good idea to help them realize that, even if it's in a subtle way, or just asking them how they feel about it, right? Sometimes most of the time, that's probably the best method. Okay, so we have 23 seconds. So, this was the advice card, by the way. So your advice is to bring out your divine feminine energy, to be nurturing, to be caring, and to really allow. This attitude of allowing is really important. You need to allow each other to be who you are, and to know that you both have positives and negatives, flaws, and parts that you really love about each other, and that's normal. You're never gonna find somebody who's perfect. I feel like there's this change that needs to happen. So you're asked to allow it to happen if that's what is in your heart. Ask yourself what's in your heart, and then ask them what's in their heart, and see if that makes a difference in how you feel about each other. Okay? So group 1, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this reading was useful for you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below how this reading resonated with you. I would really appreciate it. Share it with your friends. Do all of that good stuff to help this channel grow. I would super, super appreciate it. Yeah, so that's it. That's it from me from today. If you have another person, then feel free to click on to your next pile. Alright, if you chose group 2 with this selenite stick, then this is your reading. So what does group 2's person think about them? First of all, they think that you're a hard worker, although you wear yourself out. You wear yourself thin and they worry about your health sometimes. Also, they think you're very romantic. This person might be romantic themselves, and they might also be a little bit obsessed with you. Take that as take that as it resonates, obviously, but they might be a little obsessed with you, and sometimes that's okay, but it really depends on if it goes to an unhealthy level. Usually, if it was unhealthy, this Prince of Cups would be reversed, though. But they do think you might wear yourself thin sometimes. They think that maybe the job that you're doing is something that you should rethink, because maybe it's just not for you. Maybe there's something that you would do so much better, that they know you would do much better with, that they think that you should reconsider what you do. Maybe you get very stressed from it, and they can see that, and maybe they feel the effects of it sometimes, and they just want the best for you. So yeah, with the Eight of Swords here, this person feels like, let's get this next card. Seven of Pentacles. Interesting, we have 7 and 8 of Pentacles reversed. So this person feels like you might be stuck in a situation that they really wish they could help you get out of, but they don't really have a way to do that. This, like, they know that is not really their responsibility, but they would like to try to help you, but there's really no way for them to help you. Because they know that you're doing everything that you can. At least you try to help them see that, but maybe sometimes they feel like you're not. But that's really a limitation of their own mind. But I mean, we all have some judgments of other people, so don't let that make it seem like they're somehow judgmental of you. But maybe they don't understand what it is that's holding you back. 5 of Swords. Okay, so for some of you, this is a person you've had some difficulties with and arguments with, and maybe it's been about your work. And while they do have a lot of love for you with this Prince of Swords, they definitely have a hard time understanding you, and they don't see as how much you actually do. And I think that that's part of the problem, is they really think that you don't do as much as you should. And please don't click off of here just because we got some negative stuff, because there's going to be positive stuff, there's going to be advice, so don't worry about it. You want to hear the truth, or you want to hear something, do you want to hear just what you want to hear? Okay. So, separation. For some of you, maybe this is a person you've had a separation with. It could have been, you could already be separated with this person, or maybe you've been thinking about separating. Maybe you are wondering if that's the best option. Okay, and I think that this person is also, wow, jealousy. Yeah, there could have been a third party situation with this person. There could be an incompatibility physically, but there's just a lot of problems here. I just see that there's a lot of deep-seated issues that you haven't ever talked about. First of all, there's so much that you both have refused to talk about, and I mean, honestly, the number one cause of the disintegration of any relationship is lack of communication. If you cannot communicate, I mean, and don't take this as me predicting this, but a relationship cannot last without communication. That's just the truth. Okay. We have the 4 of Swords and the Page of Swords. So this person, the problems that you've been having with this person keeps them up at night. They might be somebody who puts up a front and says, no, like, I don't give a F, I don't care, whatever, do what you do, I don't care. But this person does care, and they think a lot about it. They think a lot about it. It causes them anxiety. It keeps them up at night. They even have had some insomnia issues about it. I really do see a person crying in their bed. Lily, spiritual love. Lily is also, I think, a funeral flower. So another ending. So I really do feel like even though there is a lot of very deep love here, it's like sometimes love is not enough. And maybe that's something, I don't know if that's what they're thinking or that's just the truth of the situation, but sometimes love is not enough. Take this as it resonates. If this is not for you, choose another pile, but sometimes love is not enough. Okay. Someone working against you behind your back. I feel like there's this distrust between you, and maybe it was started by some cheating or some like somebody talking behind somebody else's back, somebody feeling like they're not doing enough to keep the relationship going. But regardless, trust has really been lacking here, and I mean. A piece of advice would be to work on that trust. Trust is another necessary thing. Trust and communication are not optional if you want a healthy relationship that works and lasts. Target. I think this person sees you as somebody who knows what they want and is maybe a little bit intimidated by that broken ring, parting of ways in either romance or business. Okay, I can't really deny that this is definitely has a separation. This is about separation in one way or the other. Either it's in the future or it's already happened. Dealings with a relationship with a man. This is hard to say because it could be with a woman. It really depends on who who this is. Deep knowing. So at the core of this, unfortunately, I see that this relationship has not been working for a while. And they might not have communicated. I mean, basically my intent was to find what it is that has not been communicated, right? So this has not been communicated to you, possibly. And that, you're very much encouraged to talk to this person about this as soon as possible. And don't come at it negatively. Don't come at it with any sort of attitude, because you're not going to get the response that you need from this person that way. But also don't come and expect any certain response regardless, because that energy is not going to allow them to open up. And I feel like this person has not had the chance to open up, and neither have you. There's so much love here. There's so much love here, but it's like love is not always enough. And I'm so sorry. I mean, I feel like I'm sounding a little cold right now, but this is difficult for everybody who goes through it. And I've been through this before with somebody who was such a dear friend to me, but that our feelings were not mutual. We both loved each other, but we loved each other in a different way. And we both loved each other very profoundly, but at the end of the day, we couldn't say enough to each other, or we couldn't say, there was nothing we could say that could make it work, because the more we said to each other, the worse it got. So that could resonate with some of you. So obviously use your intuition if you need to communicate with them, or if you need to just end it. But please, know that I can't choose for you to end it. But if you're going to end it, then do it lovingly. Don't come to them trying to argue and tell them everything they've done wrong. Because if it's time to end it, then that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to tell them what all they've been doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? So this didn't last as long as it needed to, so I'm going to get some more cards for you. Don't tell group 1. What advice do we have for group 2, please? The Devil. This person could be a Capricorn, or you could be. Or there's this obsessive energy, like I said earlier. And you know what? If there is this obsessive energy. That for some of you, please take this as it resonates. But some of you, you might have a stalker. This is only for some of you. And if so, do what you need to do to, to keep yourself safe, please. But, somebody might not. But on another note, he or she might not be a stalker, but they might message you all the time once you end in the relationship, and they might not leave you alone. But I think, you can only say so much, and then you just have to ignore them. You have to block them. But maybe there is something that you could say to help them move on. And it might be a hard thing to say, but it's something that you do need to get off your chest, or just to help them move on. It's not because it's your responsibility, but because they're human, and so are you, and you both want this to end in a way. Maybe they don't want it to end, but you do, or vice versa. And somebody has got to finalize this. Somebody has really got to finalize this and say their piece, and then end it. If somebody's not willing to accept that, then block them. Do what you need to do to maintain your boundaries. I think that boundaries have not been maintained because you feel like there's so much love here that you don't want to hurt them, but it's that's not your responsibility. Like I said, it's really not. Page of Cups. I think that this person might feel like they might be judging you as being immature while they themselves are being immature too. You might just be both very young. This might be one of your first relationships, or maybe it's one of many that you've had. But regardless, this person is... I just feel like somebody's not leaving the other alone, is the thing. So let's just get some positive card here to end with the Green Witch Oracle. So, Spirit, what's some positive advice for group 2, please? Oops. Okay, I'm going to shuffle that again. Memory. Okay. Cherish the memory that you've had with the memories that you've made with this person. Don't let everything be ruined. And, encourage that in them too. That just because it's not worked out doesn't mean that it ruins every memory you've had, because you've learned good lessons, you've had good times, and those are worth cherishing within your minds. But it's time for most of you, it is time to let go. This person could be a narcissist, in which case it's definitely time to let go. Because just I see the name is narcissists, pseudo-narcissists. So that's Daffodil Hope. But also, I think that there's just this thing that one or the other or both of you thinks that without the other, then you'll always be alone, and that's just not true. That's just this kind of immature or young kind of spirit talking, and that's really not the truth. It's just your feelings. Sometimes your feelings convince you that you'll never find anybody else, but remember that it is just a feeling, even though it is so powerful, so strong, that it feels so real. The feeling is real, but the thing is trying to convince you of is not. Okay, so just remember that. Please keep safe. Please keep yourself grounded. Please ground yourself, and please take care of yourself. Do self-care. You really deserve it. No matter what's happened in this relationship, you deserve to take care of yourself, and they do too. And just try to keep your head up. Okay. I hope that it works out for you. You can let me know in the comments what this was about for you if you'd like. Alright, group 2. See you next time. Bye. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and comment, please. All right, group 3, if you chose this beautiful Labradorite crystal, then this is your reading. So you have the High Priestess, first of all. So you or your person is very intuitive. There's something that you already know that maybe, but also I think here's the thing. One or both of you is intuitive, and the other is like, well, just because I'm intuitive or just because you're intuitive doesn't mean we shouldn't communicate things, because we can't know everything and we should never be expected to read anybody's mind, okay? Somebody wants to say that they love you, whether it be I love you as a friend or I'm in love with you. This person may have not told you yet how much they cherish you and how much they are for some of you in love with you, or how much they appreciate everything you do for them. Okay, they might just assume that you know, because they might say thank you, but they might not want to be too dramatic about it. They don't want to like go overboard, but they do wish you knew how important you are to them. Really. It's very different from group 2. 3 of Cups. For some of you, this is a good friend. This could be somebody you met in a friend group. Although I feel like this person, there's something about talking smack in this. Like, maybe this person has been caught saying some not so nice things, but they actually do so much care about you. They just made a mistake because they're human. But it totally take that as it resonates. It totally depends on the situation. This person finds you very creative. They might not think you're too good with money. They might think you're somebody who's super creative, who can create amazing things, but they might think that you have some trouble keeping track of your money. And they wish that they could help you with that, but they just want to make sure that you're okay. With this 3 of Cups, though, I feel like sometimes this person feels like your friends or their friends make a mess of the connection between you two, because like there's just like maybe too much discussion about the other person while they're not there that needs to probably stop. This person thinks that you could be a really good business person, but they are not sure you believe in yourself enough, and they wish that you did believe in yourself more. This person, for many of you, this person dreams about you, and if they're sort of romantic, then it doesn't. This is not for everybody, but some of them have like really intense dreams about you, if you know what I mean, and they almost feel guilty about it. Maybe it's because you are in a platonic relationship and they just don't want you to know that. But we all sometimes we don't all have those sort of dreams about people, but it's normal. It's normal. So it doesn't necessarily mean, if you're not in that kind of relationship, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I don't know why that came up. But also they just think that you are in your head a lot, and also they think that you blame yourself for too much. They think you blame yourself for a lot of the problems that happen in your life, when in fact it's like sometimes it's other people who are messing with you and who are causing these issues, but then you always take the full responsibility, and they don't understand that. They think you're a hard worker. They think that you do a lot. And sometimes they might say something to you that like maybe you don't do enough somehow, but they know that you do enough. They really do know that, but maybe they're projecting some kind of jealousy onto you, or they're projecting something onto you from their own insecurities, and they make you feel a certain way, but they don't really mean what they say, is what I'm getting here. Because they know that you're capable of creating beautiful things if you don't actually create them already. But I feel like they're afraid of telling you this. They're afraid of telling you that you should really pursue something. They're afraid to tell you how they really feel about you. They're afraid to tell you that the little moments that they have together with you are so important to them. Okay? So forest, muddled, unclear thinking. So there's definitely some, not just unclear thinking, but unclear communication that happens between you two, which causes dissatisfaction with this cracked cup card here. It causes you to feel like, it causes them to feel like they're not being understood. It's like almost like maybe sometimes the conversation gets cut off before it's finished, and then they never feel understood. And that's, I mean, they love you. They really do. They absolutely adore you, but they almost feel like they can't express everything that they want to express to you because they're afraid that you will leave them, or they're afraid that you're going to judge them. So maybe the advice here would just be to let them know that you're not going to judge them for anything that they feel. Get back to the basics, Quill. You are definitely, they might have written you love letters, or you are being encouraged to write them one, or you're encouraged to just not even send them a letter, but to write down what your feelings are about them and get that clear in your head so that you can communicate what you need to later. But also, I feel like they talk a lot. They think that you talk a lot. They think that you talk a lot, but I mean, they like that about you, but they think that sometimes you don't always really know what you're really saying. It's almost like you say a lot and you don't actually communicate much, if that makes sense. And it's not a judgment about you, really. It's just that's just one of the aspects of you, or maybe it's vice versa. But regardless, they know that that's not a big deal. But sometimes they're scared that they might get a little annoyed with it, and they don't want you to feel like just because they're annoyed that they're going to leave you or something. That's not the case. It's just they know it's temporary. They know it's just a little what is the word? Just a little flaw, but not even a flaw. It's not that strong. But regardless, it's just a little thing about you that is not a big deal. But they don't want you to feel like they think it's a big deal. Sometimes they might get annoyed with you, and sometimes you get annoyed with them, I think, also. But at the end of the day, I think they what they really most wish you knew, and what they don't communicate with you, is that it doesn't really matter. These little things, these little arguments that you have are not that big of a deal. They might even enjoy this tit for tat sometimes with you, these little arguments. But sometimes they might feel like you go a little hard on them, or maybe they feel like they go a little hard on you. And maybe you need to establish some boundaries for these little back and forth arguments or playful arguments that you have with each other. So with your advice, a change in the wind, you're advised to allow change to happen. Okay, sometimes, or all the time, things are always going to change. And I feel like there's a resistance here to changing, and this person doesn't want things to change, possibly, but you're encouraged to show them that change is not a bad thing. That change is not going to take away the love. But I feel like there's a lot of little daily things that they just love. They love about you. They love when they see you. There's just these, like, how you walk, or how you smile, or just little things that just really adds up to something. And they never want that to change. But there's some things that are going to change as we grow, and I think that that's something that they will get used to. So let's get a few more cards for you. What else does group 3 need to know about what their person thinks about them. Two of Swords. The Lovers. So this is choices. For some of you, this person might wish to be with you, and they might have to choose between you and somebody else, actually. And they feel guilty about that. And the Eight of Swords again. Oh, that was from last time we had the Eight of Swords. So yeah, this feeling of stuck between you and somebody else. I feel like other people get in between you a lot. Friends get in between you two, and they would like sometime just to be with you, and without the stress of other people around. Because sometimes people add this other layer of complication that it really overwhelms them. Okay. Generation, Tarragon. Gratitude, Pink Rose. So yeah, they just hope you know how much they care about you, regardless of whatever choice they have to make eventually, whether it be to stay with you or to become closer with you or to even have to move away from you a little bit. They are so happy to know you. And they might feel like it's a little bit gross to say that, that it's just a little bit cheesy. But if they were, completely open and honest with you, they would definitely tell you that you have brought a new energy into their life that has changed their life for the better. And they are so grateful for you. And there's these problems in their life that when you're around, the problems almost disappear. It's like they don't even exist while you're around, because you're such a dynamic, all-encompassing energy. All right, group 3. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's really important and would help me out a lot. Also, comment down below and tell me how this resonates. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time, okay? Bye-bye. All right. All right. If you chose group 4 with this sparkly orange Vanillite, then this is your reading. So, what does your person think and feel about you? 3 of Pentacles. They think that you're somebody who is collaborative. They think that you really work with them. Like, if they do something wrong, or if they are, that you don't always. It's not like this, energy that's hard to work with. It's not this energy that is very conflictive. No, like, you go with the flow. You really do, and you work with people. You allow people to make mistakes, and you allow them to be who they authentically are, and they just think that this is an amazing benefit to having you around. I feel like this should be upright. You have the Emperor. They think you are large and in charge, though. Like, regardless of how in the flow you are, how going with the flow you are, like, they know that you do not play when it comes to your money. You do not play when it comes to your relationships. Like, the reason why you go with the flow is because you want things to be a certain way, and you don't accept it otherwise. And for one thing, you want other people to let you be who you are and control your life exactly how you want to control it, and nobody else is going to do that. So that's why you allow people the same benefit. And that's something they recognize and really love about you. Wow, this is definitely meant to be upright. So you have the Nine of Cups. This person thinks that, like, whether this is friends, romance, family, whatever, this person is so happy that you are in their lives. I mean, this is the Nine of Cups. This is the wish card. This is like they've gotten their wish having you around. Seriously, can't make this crap up. I mean, this person really just thinks the world of you. And it just feels very, very lucky that you're around. Very lucky. 6 of Pentacles. This person thinks you are very generous, thinks you allow... it's almost like I'm getting like you let them off the hook for a lot of things. And I don't know if this... I mean, that it depends on the situation, whether that's a positive or a negative thing, but they definitely know that you allow... You give a lot, whether that be as far as allowances or money or time or whatever it is. Like, you definitely give a lot. And they recognize that within you. You have the Prince of Pentacles here. So, lots of Pentacles. You could be Capricorn, Virgo, or... I forgot the other Earth sign. I'm sorry. Whatever. You could be an Earth sign. When I'm channeling, I can't remember things like that for some reason. So, anyway, they know you're someone who's willing to go the extra mile, and it might you're gonna take the long road. Like, you're gonna take the long road because you know that it's the best way to go, and they see that about you. So they might be willing to go slow with you if this is a romantic relationship. They might be willing. They're willing to work with you as far as you taking it slow, because they know that if they win you over, even if it takes months and months, that it's all going to be worth it. Examen, which is exam. And instabilité, which is obviously instability. They think that sometimes you test them. And maybe for good reason. Maybe you test them for good reason, but they do feel like sometimes you test them, or sometimes things are like they're afraid of failure in somehow. They're afraid that if they slip up in the tiniest bit, that they will... that all of this that they've worked with you to achieve is gonna just slip away. And so they feel like not every day, but they feel like a lot of times things are kind of a test to see if they will pass or fail, and if they fail, then they might lose you. So this is really partly just insecurity. It's not your fault necessarily, but each of our actions and thoughts do contribute to this a little bit. But that doesn't mean you're intending this. But maybe you are. Maybe you are trying to test them out, because maybe, if you are are thinking about marrying them, then of course you need to know that it's right. Right? So it depends. Take that as it resonates, obviously, as all things. 9 of Pentacles, another 9. And the Hanged Man. And this person thinks that you have a lot to give physically. Like, I think this person thinks that you're very sexually compatible with them. If this is a romantic or sexual thing, that they think you're very compatible. If it's not, then this is more just being generous, I think, still with them, and being generous with your time and your emotions. But also, you're somebody who is willing to shift perspective. Like, you are totally 100% willing to change your perspective and to change what you think if you have other evidence to the contrary. Like, you are very, like, in yourself, and you know who you are, and you know what you want, and you're gonna do what you're gonna do, but you're still willing to go with the flow and change your outlook when it's necessary and when you are given the evidence to support that. I feel like you're a very, very practical person. Okay? And they see that within you. Chair empty. Someone is leaving your life. I think this is a fear of theirs, because you are their wish come true. That their anti-wish, if you will, is that you will leave them. And I feel like they are very, very worried about that. Even though you're going to have success with this person. Whether it's, no matter what kind of relationship, you'll have success with this person, but just know that they are a little bit insecure. They do feel like some things are a test, and they feel like that maybe sometimes it could be very easy to lose you. And maybe it's somehow, like, in a way, your attitude, like, and that's fine. It's like, because you're so sure of yourself that it makes them feel like, wow, if they feel like that about themselves, and I feel like how I feel about myself, then if they ever find out that I'm not as secure as them, then they'll leave me, is kind of the message here. Gavel, involvement with the law. This person could be a police officer, or this could just be saying, you set the law, you know what you want, and it's exactly how it is. This person might have a legal record. I just think this person, you might be a lawyer. Maybe this person is a lawyer. Maybe this person is a prosecutor. Definitely not necessarily. Your advice is Treasure Island. Know that you have something really good here. And that doesn't mean it's going to last forever. It might not. But regardless, you're asked to cherish this time and this person to your greatest extent, because this person is a blessing in your life, and you are a blessing in theirs, both equally so. Seriously, there's just something so magical about this energy here. You two are such a good match that it would be a shame for it to end if it didn't need to. Of course, there are things there's always going to be these imperfections that people see about us and that we see in other people. But at the end of the day, what you have is something that is sort of rare. Nobody else had such a good connection here. Everybody had a good connection except one group, but it was just like, this is such your connections, your two energies mesh so well. And that's not something that everybody has, So, any other advice for group number 4, please, Spirit? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, please. Like the video. Comment down below how this goes with you. I still got a few cards to go, don't worry. I'm just telling you while it's on my mind. Hierophant. The Magician. Wow. 2 major arcana cards. One more card. The Moon, another one. So this person recognizes that you two are very different in energies. One of you is playful, one of you is very serious, one of you is maybe even successful, one of you is just starting out on their journey. But you both have this very internal knowing that you two can support each other. And while there are these insecurities between you two, and this person does feel like sometimes it could be so easy to lose you, this person is willing to do whatever it takes to keep you, and to keep you as a friend, or keep you as a girlfriend or boyfriend, or just a special friend, whatever. This person is willing to do what it takes. But you might have to communicate that with them. Sometimes if you really need something and they're not doing it, they wish that you would tell them. Okay, because, we all have that sometimes where we don't say everything that we need. And you're advised to also tell them that you're open to them, for them talking to you about their insecurities, or, whatever. You might need open with, I'm insecure about this sometimes. So if there's anything that you are insecure about, I would love to hear it. Something like that, so they don't feel like the tables are imbalanced. Then we have the Two of Cups. Speaking of imbalance, it's just like you two mesh with each other so well. You two have such a great combination of energy. And I think you're going to do good things together. I hear for some of you, you're going to have a baby. For others of you, you're going to get married. For others of you, you're going to create a business together. This is going to be such a great combination. Good for you. King of Pentacles. Yeah, for a lot of you, this could be even business partner. So take this as like employee or employer, the dream employee, the dream employer, the dream partner. And y'all are going to make some good money together. Alright, guys. Well, group 4, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Don't forget to, again, like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below how it resonated. And I will see you next time. Have an excellent, excellent day or night. Bye-bye.